Hey everyone, thanks for being here. Before we get into it with our next guest, I just want to take the opportunity to ask our audience to support our mission. Please leave a like, a comment, subscribe to the channel, and if you really like it and enjoy it, share with your friends and family. All the love is appreciated. Thank you very much. To the podcast. All right, our Casa, David and Megan, how are you guys?
Good. How are you?
Not bad. No, I've been seeing you guys' page. I've always find it interesting when people document a journey, like a very long project like you guys are doing. So I thought it would be interesting to have you guys on, and thank you so much for being up to the task and joining us.
Yeah, thank you for having us.
Well, thank you guys. All right, so I think I've gathered you guys are originally from Canada, right?
Yes.
Yeah, Toronto.
I'm in the GTA area too, but I'm a little bit more north of Brampton.
Okay.
So what was it you guys were doing, or do you guys still work in Canada, or did you guys quit that already?
We haven't quit. I'm a teacher, so that's why I have the summers off. And
Uh-huh.
I own a masonry company.
Masonry company, nice. So that's why you were comfortable maybe getting into a project like this back home, no?
Yeah. Yeah, the skill set kind of transitions over nicely. Yeah.
For sure. So when you guys decided to do this, or let me backtrack a little bit. Where originally are your families from?
so my family's from the Aveiro district. So my
Yeah.
dad is from a small town in Aveiro district. My mom is actually from São Miguel, but they met in
All right.
Toronto.
Okay.
Yeah. And
Yeah,
then
Yeah, my parents are both from Povo de Varzim, which is just north
Povo
of
de
Porto.
Varzim. A little more north, right?
A little bit more,
Yeah.
yeah, 15 minutes north, yeah.
Yeah, I know a very good Finnish carpenter from Povo de Varzim. You probably know him, Jorge Silva. I don't know.
By name, yeah, I don't know too
My
much.
name may not be easy.
Yeah. Still
So
networking.
we're not to give out your address or anything, but in which location did you guys settle on?
so we actually chose interior of the Coimbra district.
Mm.
Yeah. So the goal was one, I really like Coimbra as a city.
Yeah.
It's one of my favorites. I always had this dream. It's kind of a crazy dream, and who knows if this will ever happen, is my kids going to the Coimbra University, because I
Yeah.
always loved going there, and they have like that Harry Potter, the capes. I don't know
Yeah.
or
For
seen
sure,
them.
I know that. Yeah.
Oh, that's something that always stuck with me. That's kind of like the silly dream part. But then we kept looking into the Coimbra area, and we were really into the views and mountains.
Yeah. No, and Coimbra, it's in the summer it dies out a little bit because the schools are over, so like everyone goes back home, and then the city is a little quieter. I lived in Portugal for like 20 years in the Leiria area. You
Yeah.
know where that is? Yeah. So I've always liked the Coimbra area too, and even to be honest, when I sometimes, like as every Portuguese person does, you go on Custo Justo or LX, or what's the new site called now? Idealista. And I check out the houses in my area, man. It's crazy expensive now. Sometimes
Yeah.
I find like Aveiro or Coimbra is a little bit less. If you want to go interior, you're going to get less, but you don't want to be too far either. So, but I feel like it's crazy. The prices have been going up like crazy.
Prices have been going up. I mean, we bought in what year did we? It's been so long. We bought in
2021?
No, 2020. What's 2023.
2023.
2023? All right.
Started looking at, I think, 2021. So this has been like, it's taken us a few years to get us started.
Yeah. So you guys were scouting around, or like, so you were saying you always liked that Coimbra area, but was there any other area that, you were open to?
Honestly, we were open to all of Portugal. So like I started searching around. David was actually working in Canada at the time. And I went to Portugal with my parents and my two boys. And we went to, what area did I start looking in? It was north.
Marco Canaves.
Yeah. Marco de Canaves.
Yeah.
It's close to where we got married. We got married in Amarante.
Amarante?
Yeah. So again, like mountainous kind of area. So we're just open to, we're trying to change our whole lifestyles, right? So this wasn't
No,
necessarily where a
yeah, that's
good
good.
city was. It was more about like location in terms
Yeah.
of how we're gonna live every day, and not necessarily
Mhm.
about how close the city was gonna be to us.
Well, you guys got one hell of a backyard view, man.
Yeah,
When you guys post those shots, that's beautiful, man. That's like picturesque movie style.
that was the dream.
That was the idea.
Why such a big project in like rebuilding a home and versus like just buying one that's move-in ready?
That's a David question.
Yeah, that's kind of my fault. It's always been a dream to work on a house, right? Not
Yeah,
necessarily from scratch, but I love the idea of restoring the property and just maintaining its natural beauty, right? Like you see when you're driving across Portugal, you see all these abandoned, beautiful homes that just need a
I,
little love. And sometimes, you gotta dig in a little more than you expect, but that's kind of what we ended up doing.
and what would you say is like the primary motive or like the catalyst that made you guys want to rebuild life in Portugal and really plant your roots there, your own roots?
For me, summers in Portugal happened every year, right? My parents, they owned a company in Toronto, and they would have me stay with my grandparents, and I would work with them basically all summer. And
Yeah,
as I got to my teens, I had the opportunity to start make friends and then go out, and we'd go to the beach, and just I fell in love with that concept of just exploring. And Europe is amazing in the sense that you can go from country to country, and
yeah, oh yeah.
Yep. Yeah,
Uh,
for me, it's definitely a big lifestyle change. Like I'd like to live in the country, but like you know how it is in Ontario. Like the further you go out, you're just going to be covered in snow all winter, and that's
I know,
that's not it. I'm not
I
interested in
know,
that. So at least
I know.
countryside here, you're getting great weather, and we can go visit some snow in the top of Serra da Estrela when we want to, but we don't have to be part of it.
That's right. Yeah, for sure. Man. And it's never as bad up there as it is here in Canada when
No,
it
of
falls
course.
heavy.
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah, I used to. There was a time I used to sell frozen seafood to like restaurants and stuff like that, and hotels and stuff. And I had a route that would end in Covilhã, which is right before the Serra da Estrela. So like I would see the snow up in the mountain, but I never actually went up there. I felt bad, but I was already like hours from home, so like yeah, I was so far. I was always just waiting to get back home, you know?
Yeah. We've in July we've seen just like a little mountain of snow, enough to make a snowball. And actually,
Yeah.
David was here. He went with his dad. What month was that?
in March, yeah, February, March.
Yeah, and there was
Yeah.
a lot of snow then.
Yeah, that like where we are, the frosts in the morning. By 10 o'clock, it's
Yeah,
all gone.
yeah.
Yeah,
But you were saying you would go as a kid to Portugal and they would put you working in the summer. What was it you were doing?
everything. Rigar
Yeah.
batatas, morasa
Yeah.
wola, tying onions, uh, and picking potatoes. But that was a lot of what I would do.
So this house that you guys are rebuilding now, what would you say is like the main aesthetic or architectural style you guys are aiming for?
We're trying to rebuild what was already there, so that's like
Yeah.
that. It's an old manor.
Yeah.
Um, we want to keep the look of what's there, and just
Yeah.
kind of it's still going to be modern, but
Yeah.
Just
with a
opening the
very
space,
yeah,
making it more airy.
making it more
Yeah.
open concept, but still
Yeah.
very traditional.
Yeah.
Maybe
Yeah.
not like super traditional, but like with this in mind. Like this is my grandparents' old kitchen. Um,
Yeah.
we don't cook in this kitchen anymore because now we have like an updated modern kitchen in my grandparents' house. But
Yeah.
like we want to bring that vibe back. Like just
That tile looks actually that tile looks very modern, man. Like a lot of the older
oh,
houses in Portugal.
This is
this is
over a
old.
hundred years old.
This is old and hand painted.
Oh, a lot of
Yeah,
those older houses in Portugal, I remember have like a dark brown or dark green tile or stuff or pink or stuff like that. But that one actually looks modern, looks updated.
I did a
yeah.
good job.
It looks really nice.
Most people moving back home is like it's it's deeply emotional. How does it feel like to plant new roots for your kids to grow up back home? Because that's the intention, right? For you guys to live there, right?
Hmm.
Um, honestly, it's scary. It's we don't know until we try, and we're
For
that's the
sure.
thing is that we're both willing to try, and see what our kids have. Like, there's just so many different opportunities here, and I think the world is changing. So I think we'll be okay.
Yeah.
I don't know. That's a tough one.
No, that's fine. Your kids, have you guys already been teaching them Portuguese at home before like this or?
They they go to Portuguese school on Saturdays, but
All right.
and they learn French, it's in school just to have that like the language around.
Yeah.
A little closer to Portuguese than English. Um,
Mhm.
but they're not fluent. Mind
No,
you,
but
like our
yeah.
son is in soccer camp right now, and
Right.
he can't speak to them at all, and he's like totally okay with going and trying, and he's like, okay, I learned passa bola and chuteiras means cleats, so he's good.
Yeah.
He's like he's willing to try and be still active and play with the new friends that he's made. So
Yeah.
language barrier is probably the biggest concern we have, but at the
Yeah.
same time, like, kids are so resilient and they're willing to
For sure.
try.
Oh yeah.
So, yeah, I
My,
think it's
my
harder for me
son,
to actually speak.
for sure. As we age, it's always harder to learn than kids. I remember, so I was actually born in Canada and I went to Portugal when I was 12. And I had that, my mom, right before moving, like my older brother and older sister went the year ahead of us. We stayed behind an extra year. And then that year, my mom would draw like a book. She would make the drawing. She would write it in English and Portuguese. And, for me to practice like the basic
Yeah,
stuff.
yeah, yeah.
I didn't learn too much, but when you get there, it's pretty quick. And I saw my son when I moved back here to Canada, my son was 6 years old when he came, and like within 6 months, he's speaking almost fluent English. So
Yeah.
yeah,
Like, as
the
soon as
kids
they're,
pick
like,
it up quick.
immersed in the language, it makes a huge difference, and we're here, like, our oldest has been coming since he turned like, COVID made things strange. We were trying to come a little earlier, but I think he came when he was, like, 3 years old, and we've been coming ever
Yeah,
since, and he learns a little bit more each time. I think he
yeah, good
understands a lot
time.
more than we think,
Mhm.
um, but slowly
How
but
how
surely.
old are you? Have two of them, I think, right?
3.
Two,
3.
three of them. How old are they?
6, 4, and 1.5.
It's gonna be as if it was nothing for them. They won't even feel
The
it.
track, I think pretty smooth. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. So this reality of what you guys are doing, the licensing and paperwork in Portugal can be pretty harsh. It can be pretty dreadful. Things move a lot slower in Portugal. How has your experience been in like the local Câmara Municipal or, taking care of paperwork? Has it taken much longer than you guys were expecting?
Oh, yeah. So we purchased in 2023, and then
Yeah, we're working with the engineers and the architects for
Yeah.
2 years, and that
2 years, eh?
that took some time, right?
yeah.
And
Mhm.
then the camera, they just kind of, they shrug their shoulders and they're like, whenever the paperwork comes in, you'll have it.
Yeah.
And there's no like timelines. There's nothing when it comes to sending in paperwork. It's just a shrug of shoulders, and you get it when you get it.
Well, that's the reality check, eh?
Yeah.
You're used to one thing here, everything being more quicker and fast paced, getting stuff done. And in Portugal, it can be very, very
No.
hard.
We want that lifestyle. We want that slowness, but at the same time,
Yeah,
it's kind of hindering
yeah,
us
yeah,
on the project, right? So we're like, we want
yeah,
this slow pace of life, but it takes a long time to get things done, and everybody's very
yeah,
relaxed. Like, you don't go to the architect and say, "Hey, let's fix up some paperwork." They're like, "No, no, cafe first. What do you? Wait a sec."
even even the fact that everything like closes, for lunch or or even restaurants like they close in the middle of the afternoon. If a restaurant closes at like 3 o'clock and you get there at like 45, it's like, we're closing soon. Kitchen's done.
Yeah,
Everything is very different in that regard, eh?
it is nice. It's a good reminder to slow down. It's like, okay, you have
Yeah,
there's time for everything. It just can't be whenever you want it. It's got to be, take it day
that
by
that
day.
that yeah, for sure, for sure. No, it's good. The slower pace is definitely good, and I think everyone could appreciate it. But some things like some bank work and some bureaucracy, you know,
Yeah.
it wouldn't hurt if they can, you know, accelerate the process.
Well, there's a lot of holidays here, so they got a lot of break days, so we have to take that
Yeah.
into consideration. Like every time we were calling someone, and we'd be in Canada, and we'd be calling. They're like, "Oh, sorry, holiday. We're not working today." We're like, "When are you working?"
That's crazy. So, what's one thing you guys were like completely naive getting into this that you can even look back and laugh at it today?
I know nothing about construction. I'm just relying on him.
Yeah.
Naive, I don't know.
Like,
I've been,
you know,
to be honest, like the 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 one thing that I've been struggling with is the licensing stuff. That's something that's
yeah.
hard to swallow because it's just like we're about to go through it again right now. We're getting the fudu done in the back, right, which is like a well.
Mm,
And they come in and he takes his points and he's just like, yeah, Dave, now you're not allowed to continue building the terraces because you have to wait for this license to put the fudu in this area. And it took him 3 weeks to even show up to come and show me where it can go.
yeah.
And that's been the tough part, and maybe something we didn't expect.
Especially, especially if you guys are like in Canada, like, you feel almost like even if you were there, you couldn't do much about it because you just got to wait. But when you're
Yeah.
far, it's like you feel, you know, in defense, it's like you can't do nothing about it. You're so far
Yeah.
away. How,
It's
how has
yeah.
that struggle been trying to
One
manage everything from
be a good
abroad?
example of that. There was one guy that we contracted to do, the arch door. I don't know if you know,
Yeah.
it's on one of our
I,
stories. We
I've
have the,
seen, I've seen,
yeah, and so he's interested in the project. He says yes to doing the door,
yeah.
and I'm calling him on a weekly basis. I'm like, hey, is the door installed? And he's like, oh, but you're only coming in June, so what's the rush? And we show up, and now I don't know where this guy is, and I gotta hunt my door down.
Well, it's summertime. He's probably on vacation.
They're on vacation now.
Exactly.
he, he secured the job, so he's good for a while now.
Yeah.
Would you say that's one of the biggest challenges, like getting into this project, or is there like a major one that you it's been really hard to?
Yeah, the subcontractors have been tough. They're
Yeah,
also, they kind of share the same philosophy, I guess, as the camera. They
yeah.
when I'm
No,
ready, I'll show up and help you out.
I can imagine. Yeah, between the paperwork or the designs or the contractors, it's hard managing everything, especially if you're far away, right?
In Portugal right now, there's a boom in construction, so everyone is busy, and
Yeah,
they all say, it's hard to find the time to come and help you and do the project, but which is a
and I
good
think
sign.
yeah, I think one of the reasons too is that there is a boom in construction, and at the same time, there was a boom in migration. So a lot of Portuguese people who know how to work, know how to do this type of work, left to go get more money. So now
Mhm.
there's a lot of people that there's not as much people I think in Portugal capable. Because I have friends calling me left and right sometimes from back home. Oh, Steve, this here is booming. You should, if you ever think about coming back, there's lots of work here. I'm like,
Sorry, before David even started, we got quoted for projects in 2024. We got
yeah,
quoted for our contractor to start only in 2027. And we're like, we can't wait until 2027 to start. So
yeah,
that's
for
David
sure.
ended up going.
Yeah.
It's a because it's a new region to you guys. How do you go about finding contractors?
To be honest, word of mouth. For me,
Yeah,
I make good friends with the locals, and I smile at
yeah,
everyone. I say hi, and I ask around. That's honestly been my
Yeah.
saving grace. It's been,
oh,
hey,
makes
somebody that's
sense.
Windows, and then they'll give you their
Yeah,
Yeah.
recommendations, and you follow up, and it ends up working out
We
sometimes.
have some really nice neighbors. They're
Yeah.
very like friendly. Like they come up to us, no problem. They're just like so happy that it's like a young couple with kids are
yeah,
coming to
for sure.
liven up the town, and
Oh
so
yeah,
everyone comes out. Like they all peep out their windows, and they're just so excited that we're also. Well, I'm learning Portuguese, but we're Portuguese
man.
coming back.
Yeah,
We're
yeah,
not
yeah,
necessarily
for
just from
sure.
other because there are a lot of different. How would you say that? Different people from
Mhm.
other places. We have like a lot of different countries in our area. Like so, we have German family, we have an Indian family, we have I think someone from Netherlands. So like there's a
Yeah.
lot of
There's
different
a mix.
culture. There's a mix. Yeah.
No, especially I remember from living there, then having my clients back and forth. And the more like interior you go, like the people are very warm and very opening. They love
Yeah.
people. Like when you're closer to the litoral in the bigger cities, when life is more busy, you can live in the same apartment building with someone and not really know them.
Yeah. We're definitely getting that like country home feeling. It's very nice.
So then, David, you would say the best advice for someone getting into something like you guys are doing is literally that. Like try, make friends with the locals and ask for recommendations. That's because looking
Recommended.
for it online is not really that trustworthy, right?
To be honest, they don't, some of the smaller companies and the guys you probably would want to work with,
Yeah.
they
Yeah.
don't advertise very well. So it's hard. They're
Yeah.
very mind.
I've tried reaching out to people through like Facebook groups. And then
Yeah.
we've contacted a couple, but
Yeah.
it's usually the people that we've just talked to neighbors that's how he's been finding people in different trades and different things like that.
Our mercado in our area, she was actually one of the biggest help. Yeah. So
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, she's been
Oh,
great.
for sure. She knows everyone.
Yeah, we walked in there, had some coffees, talked to the whole town, and it was great.
So you could say you guys are taking like a hands-on approach and you don't have like a project manager or anything. Like you guys are doing everything, right? Organizing everything.
Yeah.
I'm the one doing all the project managing, and then I have our friend there from the town to help us with the build, and we're kind of just working together and getting it done.
Yeah. Construction costs, have risen like crazy. If you're in Canada, you know that. And even in Portugal, I could imagine. What's the reality? Like, what's the difference between your original quotes you got and like what they actually are?
Our original quotes were extreme. Demolition was like 34,000 euros, and I
Mm,
ended up for a fraction of the cost because I did it myself.
yeah,
And it's honestly, it's been a eye opening for me, right? Just because I own a business in Toronto, and just kind of
for sure.
realizing what some of their margins are.
Mhm.
It's exciting for
Yeah.
us when we
So
do make the transition and get
well,
in there as well.
another thing was like demolition was quoted at 34,000 euros, but it was also quoted to take how long? Like the time
Yeah,
frame
it
was
was like
long.
2 months,
2 months, and he completed it in
like 2 weeks.
2 to 3 weeks. So it's
Yeah.
different.
No, the mindset is pretty crazy. I remember like 2 years ago, I went back home to spend Christmas with my parents there, and they were doing like there's like this little beside her building. There's this little parking space there, and they were interlocking it there. I swear to God, I was there for 3 weeks. They had started it already when I got there, and when I left, they were still like halfway through. If that thing was here in Toronto, it would be done in like 3 or 4 days.
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah.
No, it's true. And it would be Portuguese people doing it, but it would be done in 3 or 4 days, you know?
Yeah,
We
yeah.
saw the same thing with some of these retaining walls in our area, right? I'm looking at it; it's done in block. I'm like, it's a couple days worth of work, and they're prolonging
Yeah.
it for a week. But
Would you
I get
say they're maybe trying to take advantage of this new boom of people coming back with foreign money, take advantage a little bit? That's why the demolition quote was maybe a little bit excessive.
honestly, that's been my experience. As soon as
Yeah.
they sense that I'm from Canada, they're kind
Yeah.
of I've heard people say this already. Oh, Canada é o país do dinheiro, right? It's the country of money,
Yeah.
and they
Yeah.
just
It's
think
no money
just
here.
sweep it all up, right? And
Yeah.
it's been a little bit frustrating to hear that kind of thing because everybody
For
works for
sure.
their money, and
For sure.
it's uh,
There used to be this vibe. I remember, I don't know, 20, 30 years ago, like there was always the Portuguese that would want to go back home and build their homes back home. And at the time, at least in my region, it was mostly like the French. Like they would make their money and they would live like cheaply in France, make money so that they can build a home back home. And
yeah,
people were very appreciative because they were injecting foreign money into their communities, into
yeah,
their country.
Yeah.
Nowadays, it kind of feels like there's this climate of rejection almost like, you guys are just driving the prices up with the American expats and so on.
Yeah.
mhm,
We got a lot of those DMs.
Yeah, right.
A lot of younger Portuguese sending messages saying, hey, we leave our real estate alone.
Yeah,
But I feel like as long as people are involved and being part of the society, I think it should be welcomed.
For sure.
We're not trying to take advantage. We're not making an Airbnb and just destroying
Yeah,
everything.
yeah,
Like
yeah,
trying to
yeah.
bring our family there. We're trying to live there. So I'm
Yeah.
not that there's anything wrong with having an Airbnb either.
No, for
It's just
sure.
I just feel like as long as whoever's coming into the country, whatever country it is, as long as you're being, you know, a, a member of society, participating, working, doing well, I think it should be celebrated or welcomed.
The other thing too is like we're getting some negative comments through
Yeah.
Instagram, right? But that's not the experience
Yeah.
when we're in the town,
That's true.
right? Our
Yeah.
neighbors, I've built great relationships with them, and they don't give me that vibe,
No.
which is
Yeah, yeah.
nice.
It's always the online, eh? It's always in the
Yeah.
comments and stuff.
They're harsh.
Hey,
I,
Harsh.
I think
I
we're
had
getting. Well, sorry, we're
go
probably
on, go.
getting. We're probably getting younger generations making these
Yeah,
comments, whereas like the
yeah,
older, like our town is older people,
yeah,
and
yeah,
they love that we're just coming in and doing something and working. Like the neighbors love David. They all bring him food. Like he's always being
yeah.
fed, like all the time. We have no complaints there. Um, yeah, so we do feel very welcomed when we get there and when we go.
Yeah, I had Louis in Portugal. You know Louis and Morgan?
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
So
We
I
follow
I
them.
had I had Louis on, and he's great. He wants to move back home. He speaks the language with his accent. Doesn't matter. It is what it is. But he's
Yeah,
trying. He lived his whole life in the States. Like if his Portuguese isn't perfect, it is what it is, But he's trying his best. And his wife is trying to learn the language. She's adapting. They're not trying to change culture. They are coming for the culture. They want to be
yeah,
involved in the culture. And
yeah,
even like that, there would still be some negative comments in some clips. It makes no
yeah.
sense at all.
Yeah, to
It
me
makes no
that's like,
sense.
yeah, it doesn't make sense where you're trying to be part of the culture, you're doing everything to embrace it. I think it should be welcomed for sure.
Yeah. Obviously, I can understand the point of view of like, if other cultures are coming in and they want to change your culture, I can understand where that doesn't sit good with people, right? Like
Mm.
we're a country that eats pork and whatever, but if they want to ban that, doesn't make sense, right? Like that's our culture, right? But like you guys or other people who are coming for the culture, they want to be involved in it. They should just be embraced because it's a privilege, and they bring foreign money. They bring money from their countries. They're investing in the local communities.
Yeah,
So
yeah,
I never understood that mindset, that mentality in Portugal that they treat you guys with sometimes. And I look into it because sometimes I think about myself. Like sometimes I don't see myself as a Canadian, like because I've lived in Portugal for 20 years and I've been back for 13 years, and sometimes I still think like I'm Portuguese. I'm from Portugal, but if I were to go back, I'll probably get the same thing after. I already look at this beforehand, thinking like, oh wow, look at how the mindset of the people has changed over the years. Yeah. All right. So you have a contracting company in Canada. How would you say, from your experience, like if you're in masonry, you don't know like of all the trades or anything, but how would you say rebuilding a house prices compare more or less from Canada and Portugal?
It's hard to make that comparison just because
Yeah.
of the building style, right?
Hmm.
Here, it's
Yeah.
all with rebar, and in Canada, it's all wood and
Yeah.
drywall. So it's very different. So it's really, honestly, it's hard to compare.
Yeah. But like within, yeah, because the whole structure is different, right?
Yeah, completely. Yeah. The good thing is, like, for instance, like, concrete pumps, right? In Toronto, it costs a fortune. Here,
Yeah.
the deal's actually pretty good. 12 euros per meter,
Yeah.
and you
Yeah.
get it yourself
So
a
it's out
concrete
of
pump.
that, eh? And how about, is it like if you book it, if you need it for that day and you book it for that schedule, is it reliable?
Honestly, like, when you're working with these companies, they actually try their best to fit you in, which is nice, right? Obviously, if their schedule's full, there's nothing you can do about that.
Yeah.
But, if they're like, "Okay, I have a 45-minute window at this time slot, like, can you get it done?"
Yeah.
And I'm like, "Yeah, yeah, come, let's try." And they'll
Yeah. Yeah.
actually they'll fit us in, man. It's
Yeah.
been a
Oh,
good
nice.
experience in that sense. Yeah. And it's pretty quick.
What?
Like, when you do
Yeah.
schedule it, like, usually not even a week, they're there.
So up to date, up until so far, what would you say is the hardest tradies to find?
The good thing is, up until now, the work that's been done has been done with me and the small crew that I've been working with the whole time, right?
Mhm.
But honestly, like kind of preparing for the future is getting hard, right? Finding the windows,
Yeah,
carpentry, because now I'm starting to get into the finishes, right? The tile,
yeah, yeah,
that's I'm starting to sense the what everyone's talking about.
We've been
yeah,
okay with the electrician and
Yeah, the
plumber.
electrician's fantastic.
Yeah,
Yeah,
electrician,
we got
plumber,
lucky
that's
there.
been okay. Right now we're like currently working on figuring out windows for our pool house, and
yeah,
Yeah,
that's not easy. I don't know. We've been talking about windows since
since
David
March.
left in March. He wanted to have windows up already, but
yeah,
It doesn't help too that we're
yeah,
trying to maintain, like we said, the original house, and so we're looking for wood windows, and that's
yeah.
kind of also what's making it hard too. There's only a few companies that do wood windows.
And this like the old style as well, because everything
Yeah,
is like more modern,
mhm,
and
mhm.
like it's hard to find like what it used to look like.
yeah.
Yeah, yeah, I understand. Yeah, yeah, yeah. Because you guys are still going for that traditional look, so I understand.
Yeah, yeah,
I, I noticed you posted a video like not too long ago of someone made a virtual plan of the house, and it wasn't exactly where you wanted it. It looked nice, but it wasn't actually where you wanted it, like more traditional. I think, right?
yes, yeah.
Mhm, mhm.
It was just, you know what, it was too modern, too stark, too white. Like
Yeah,
not like I don't know, it felt cold. It didn't feel like, our casa is supposed to be like traditional, like a vase in there, but
yeah,
it's very blah. I don't know. Didn't have enough warmth in it. Um well, yeah. When we worked with our designer, we had someone just like um put some pieces together, and it felt a little more warm, so we were happy
yeah.
with that
Mhm,
look. It's
mhm.
not gonna be
Mm.
100% the way that they've designed it, but it gave us, some eye-opening tips.
Yeah, for sure. Oh yeah. You know, they say building a house is like an ultimate test in a relationship. How do you guys go about the decision makings?
Honestly, we haven't got to that the hard part yet.
Yeah.
Once you're
I feel like
finished,
as long
right?
as it's building, it's okay.
The
Yeah.
building, it's all on him. Yeah.
Yeah,
And then when it gets to the finishes, is the
I feel like that's where the
yeah,
tension usually
yeah,
starts to build, right?
yeah,
Up until now, we've been doing a lot of structural stuff, but
yeah.
so
Yeah.
far so
I
good.
think we're about to get there. So like right now with the windows, David's like, "Okay, I want the windows to open like traditionally." David's like, "Oh, but
yeah.
why don't we just have it what's that?
Yeah,
The
just
other
like a crank,
A
like an
crank,
awning.
like the
Uh,
newer, and I'm like, "That's not
yeah.
traditional. I don't want it to look like that."
Yeah.
Well, we're getting there.
Yeah, you're getting it. And then there's so many before you look at it. It's knobs, it's this, it's that. It's a whole bunch of stuff you guys are
Yeah.
gonna get into it.
But you know what? We have the same for most things, we have the same, like,
Taste.
style or
Yeah,
taste. Yeah.
yeah, yeah.
We know
So
our goal.
Yeah.
yeah. So which one of you is more of the practical thinker and which one is more of the dreamer?
I'm definitely more practical. And I
Yeah,
think, like, as much as this is, like, my dream to move, like, if I
yeah,
didn't marry him, I probably would
yeah.
be not moving. Like,
Oh,
he's
okay,
definitely
yeah,
the dreamer, and it makes me feel like we can do it. He's like, "Yeah, we could do this. Let's." If it was up to David, I think we'd already be living here. We'd be camping on the land.
So so then when that time comes, like you'll just close up shop in Canada in your masonry company and you'll stop giving classes maybe, then just move to Portugal?
I would definitely I wouldn't be able to work. But work in Canada. But my goal is
Yeah,
not to just completely close up shop. I still want to stay
yeah,
in education.
yeah.
There's a few routes. Um,
Mhm.
there's not as many options for public education, but I can work in public education here.
Yeah,
Um, there is also working to teach English online. That's definitely an
yeah,
option if you're making American
yeah.
dollar. That's not my dream, but
Mhm.
my dream goal would actually be to teach like an English immersion before and after care, because that is something that they
Okay,
need here. So
okay.
maybe opening my own business one day. I don't know.
Sure,
I'm
yeah,
also
yeah.
dreaming, so we'll see.
No, that's good.
For me, you got it right, right? Just kind of sell the equipment that I have, and kind of transition over to the equipment that I would need here. That would be the idea. Just
I saw
continue.
you already sent some equipment there. You already sent the container full of stuff, eh?
Yeah, well, that's the small tools. I'm gonna send some
Yeah,
scaffolds
yeah,
too.
the handheld stuff.
Yeah,
We have to just keep him away from like Facebook Marketplace because he's searching cranes and trucks. And I'm like, okay, slow down.
that's fascinating to see what equipment they use here.
When is the official move-in planned for?
Honestly, I think this all comes down to finishing the house. Right? If
For
it takes
sure.
another
No, but
year,
that's what I'm trying to. Yeah,
yeah.
if you guys can imagine more or less when you think it's possible.
So years ago, when we wrote this goal down, this all started during COVID, right? So we sat
Yeah,
down, we were talking, we started with like literally a piece of paper, and we said, okay, what are some dreams? What area? Where would we like to live? How would we like to live? And our goal was basically 2027. So now we're hoping that works. We
Yeah.
don't know when in 2027, as long as
yeah, yeah,
we don't want to move our kids and our family, uproot us and not be comfortable. We want to make
yeah,
sure the house, we don't have a
This
roof.
transition's nice.
We
Yeah.
don't have a
yeah, yeah,
roof right now. So we need to have like a
yeah,
good,
yeah, yeah.
everything ready for us. And once that's ready is when we'll have an idea, but we don't have like a concrete date. We're trying to just go with the flow of the build.
But 2027 sounds accurate.
Yeah.
It sounds right.
Sounds accurate.
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, we're already midway 2026, so but I guess maybe by the end of 2027, you got a year and a half.
After
Are
the
you?
roof's on, things are a little faster. So it's I
Yeah, for
think
sure. Are you planning on any of the trade, like the finishes? Are you planning on doing any of them yourself?
uh some, yes, tile, hardwood floor,
Yeah,
maybe the baseboards, obviously
yeah,
the
yeah.
kitchen outsourced, windows outsourced, but there's a lot of
Mhm.
interior I've done as well. So yeah.
You guys are building this amazing community. People like you guys. What's gonna be of the channel when this is all said and done, and you guys already moved in the house?
Honestly, I don't know. Maybe just sharing lifestyle. We haven't really thought that far out, but yeah, sharing our lives, sharing slow living. Like I really
Yeah.
like. I want chickens. I want to grow my own vegetables. I want to immerse myself in old school traditions. Like I want to learn how to cook the way my grandmother cooked. Like I want to do all those kind of things. And I know I can do that in Canada, but I think it's just going to be different. I want to be able to have my own garden, and I want to have to
Pick your
be
own
able to
lemons.
pick my own lemons, make lemonade. I
Yeah,
don't know what
yeah,
I don't know what the channel will look like, but that's what my life's going to
yeah,
look like. So, or that's what I would like
yeah.
it to look
Well, it'll continue.
like. Yeah.
All right. Okay. So, kind of like to narrow this, like to bring it all to an end. w- Someone watching from Canada or the USA or Switzerland or France, we have Portuguese people in all these countries, like in big numbers that you know settled to make money and move back home one day. What's
Mhm.
the primary piece of advice you would give them before getting into something as big as this?
For me,
Plan. Try to be as meticulous as you can when you're planning.
and don't lose sight of the dream. So
Yeah.
for us, that dream, when you're in Canada, you forget that you have that dream. So like there was a point where I was like, let's buy a new house, let's move. And
Yeah,
like if you do that, there's no Portugal. You got to remember we have a house there. So
yeah, yeah,
you got to make
There's
just
sacrifices
keep
to
yeah,
get
there's
to.
sacrifices to get to where we are, and um yeah, keep your eye on the dream, focus, make that your goal. So like just focus on that
yeah. It's gonna
lifestyle.
be challenging, right? It's gonna be
There's
challenging. It's
challenges
gonna
to
be
get there.
stressful. Yeah.
Absolutely. There's challenges to get there. And I think, yeah, that's the biggest, like, don't let all those challenges or bumps in the road navigate you the wrong way.
How do both of your family do they support this move?
I think my parents have been pretty supportive. My parents so they retired and they help us with our kids.
Hmm.
They're our only childcare. So
Hmm.
they come back from Portugal. They do like the 6 months, 6 months,
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
but they can't do that full 6 months because they're taking care of our kids. So
Yeah.
they're like, the faster you move, the longer we can stay. So they're kind of on board for it.
My
Nice.
parents, not so much, the way they think,
Well,
we have a decent thing going on in Toronto, and they're like, why leave all that to move to
Yeah.
Portugal? And it's been hard for them to understand when I say, we're doing it for the lifestyle. And
Yeah.
yeah.
it's been a little
Do
bit of,
you guys are you guys leaving behind like lots of siblings and like nephews and nieces?
I have a brother. Well, we both have big families.
Mhm.
We both have big
Yeah.
extended families. I have a brother. He has a sister. We don't have any nieces and nephews yet.
Okay.
um, but I don't like. I mean, we're building the house with the intention of
Yeah.
making sure they come to visit. So that pool house,
Yeah.
that's for our
Yeah.
family to come. Like we
Yeah.
don't want. We want them to be comfortable. We want them to be able to stay as long as they need to, work from our pool house if they need to. Like those are things that
but
we have in mind.
most of your family's in Canada.
Yeah, most of my family is in Canada, so I'm
Yeah.
leaving a lot more people behind. David has a bigger family
I have
here.
a nice
Yeah,
mix. Yeah, it's,
Yeah. That makes
be like 70-30. I have more in Portugal than I do in
yeah,
Canada. So
okay.
it's nice. A lot of
yeah,
support.
yeah, yeah. He has a lot of young cousins. Like even his cousins have kids our age or our kids' age, and so like when we get together, it's nice that we have like that big
Do you guys
families.
do you guys in Canada do you own a home or is it like are you guys renting now? Did you guys already like
It's a
settle so that you can invest in
it,
Portugal?
it's a rental situation.
Yeah, yeah. No, no, for sure, because you gotta organize for this kind of stuff. So
Yeah,
Mhm.
I was wondering because some people can manage like keep it back here and maybe keep it renting so that maybe at the time if my dad would have done a move like that, before you know it, over 30 years, the $120,000 house would have been worth a million, right? So
I don't
I was
think.
just wondering like if
Yeah,
there was a situation where you guys could leave a rental property behind.
no, and I don't honestly I don't know if we like we'll go and visit family, but I don't think that's
Yeah,
our. It's not something that we're
yeah, yeah,
interested. Like, we might have
yeah, yeah,
rental space here in Portugal one day.
yeah, yeah,
That's
yeah, yeah. For sure, for
cool,
sure.
but I don't. I think we're closing up shop.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah,
yeah, yeah. That's what makes sense. You set up shop where you want to live, right? So that's what makes sense. But at the same time, in hindsight, sometimes you gotta see all the situations, see what it could be. It could be a good move.
we don't
Just
know
trying to
until
figure it out. I'm trying to learn for myself. That's why I'm asking these questions. So I to see how I can go about it one day, maybe.
Will you
I.
do it?
What's that?
Will you do it? Make the move
Well,
back?
the thing is I think about it and dream about it, but then now I have well, my son's already 18, but I have two little girls, a 10-year-old and a 5-year-old. So then, they're in school and then the wife likes it here too. And then, it's that struggle. And maybe if they do their schooling here, then by the time they're finished, I'm still trying to feel the waters.
Yeah.
Mhm.
It's definitely not an
Yeah.
easy decision to make, and like we don't know.
Yeah.
We don't know if what we're doing is what is going to be like the best decision. We don't know until we try and
Yeah,
figure it
for
out.
sure. Yeah.
So I guess the idea is that we're just willing to try and find out.
Well, I'm always like looking to see the prices, even if it's an apartment, whatever. I'm always looking around. But at least in my region, like it went stupid expensive. So I'm like, oh shit, it's not easy. Because when I
I
moved here,
have gone up quite a bit, like just all over
yeah,
Mhm.
since we purchased
yeah,
that.
yeah.
Yeah,
When I moved here, I was completely broke. So even when I would look back home and you find those houses in ruins, there were houses for like 15, 20, 30, 40 grand. They were in ruins, but like you can do something about that one day. So, but I was so broke that even that I had to like just look and ignore. But now that like you can do something about it, those same ruins are like over 150K now. So
Yeah.
yeah,
Uh,
yeah.
yeah. So it's, yeah, filling the waters, talking to people, trying to learn. But definitely, it's a dream of mine if I can do it one day. Not to say that I have a bad thing going here too. Like I'm doing okay here, and the kids like it here. So you know, but I would definitely like to have a situation, even if it's an apartment where I can go more often into Portugal, like every year or every other year for like a month or so. That's what if I can't make the full move, that's what I want to be able to do.
Yeah, for sure. And I think that's
Yeah.
that's nice because you still have that option, and even for your kids, they have the option to travel
Yeah.
And they
as
maintain their
well.
roots, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, that's right. All right, guys, this has been a blast. Thank you so much for joining me. I wanted to, talk to you guys so to get a feel for how this works and what you guys have been through so far. Maybe, maybe if I go through one day, I can learn from some of your mistakes or get inspiration and learn what you guys did right.
Yeah.
We're here to help, man. Let us know anything.
Yeah.
I've
All
got
right,
any questions.
Thank you for having us.
David, Megan, this was a blast. Thank you so much, and
Thank you.
all the success. I hope you guys make it, move in mid next year, so you guys can still enjoy the summer in the pool.
I hope so.
All right, take
Thanks,
care.
Steve.
Ciao, ciao.
Bye.
Bye.
If you enjoyed this episode, please subscribe and hit that like button below. Obrigado e até a próxima.